Right now, peer-to-peer arbitrage is very popular in crypto. We buy from people at a lower price, sell at a higher price, and it seems like we're making money without any risk. But it's not that simple. In this video, I'll compare peer-to-peer arbitrage with spot plus futures arbitrage. We'll go over the risks and nuances and figure out which arbitrage method is actually more profitable in 2025. The video will be very interesting and useful. Be sure to watch it until the end. Give it a like and leave your comments. What do you think? Let's get started. What is P2P arbitrage? P2P is connected with currencies, with fiat currencies, dollar, ruble, hryvnia. It doesn't matter. P2P deals with regular currencies, and we need to buy, say, dollars for 101 rubles on one platform and sell them for 101 rubles on another. It seems simple. Buy cheaper, sell for more, but in reality, there are some pitfalls here. Let's break them down. First of all, peer-to-peer arbitrage is everywhere right now. Peer-to-peer arbitrage, peer-to-peer videos on YouTube. It's even called peer-to-peer processing now. Everyone is being lured into it because the entry threshold is very low. But few people know what risks await you. Let's look at the first risk, bank card blocking. If you make large transactions and do so regularly, the bank can block your account and demand an explanation of where your money comes from and what you are doing. And believe me, banks don't really like cryptocurrency. The second risk is the tax authorities and financial monitoring. If you are constantly making transactions, you may be asked where the money comes from, how you received it, and you'll also need to legalize your income. So if you frequently make transactions through your card, you could have problems with the tax authorities, problems with law enforcement agencies. You might receive dirty money on your card, and then you'll have a very hard time clearing your name. A friend of mine had such a situation. He was selling crypto for rubles and someone sent dirty money to his card. Then some guys from the police came to him and said, "It looks like you're up to something shady here." He explained what had happened, that he was buying on the exchange. But law enforcement doesn't really care about that. You received dirty money, which means you're involved in some kind of fraud. And my friend was fined. Well, he was actually kind of lucky. It could have been worse. So there's always a risk of receiving dirty money. Especially now, there are tons of these triangles on peer-to-peer. It's just crawling with them. Money from all sorts of casinos and various other black and gray schemes. So guys, there are situations like this when the police might come knocking at your door. That's another risk as well. And of course, there's profitability. The profit margin here is really small, just 0.5%, maybe 1%. So if you have a small amount, you won't even feel the profit. Now let's figure out what spot plus futures arbitrage is. It takes place either between two exchanges or even on a single exchange. We buy the token on spot where it's cheaper, and where the token is more expensive on futures, we short it, locking in the spread. When the spread closes, we close our positions and lock in the profit. This is the simplest possible strategy. Our position is delta neutral because we have spot, which will rise if the price goes up, and a short, which will profit if the price falls or if they converge, meaning the spot and futures reach the same price, we will make money. That's why this strategy is less risky than P2P arbitrage and is carried out on one or two exchanges. Let me explain with an example. One token costs $100, another token costs $103. We buy at $100 on spot and short at $103. When the prices converge, we lock in the difference. And those $3 are our profit. Of course, you need to subtract commissions, so it comes out to about $285, but that's still our profit. Now let's compare P2P arbitrage and spot plus futures head to head. The first point is earnings. In peer-to-peer arbitrage, it's 0.5% to 1%. Sometimes there are combinations with higher returns, but they are very rare and can come with high risks. In spot plus futures arbitrage, earning 5 to 6% from a single combination is absolutely normal. Do several combinations a day, go ahead and earn. Sometimes there are combinations with 15, 20, 25% returns or even more. By the way, on our channel, we have reviews of such combinations where we earned more than 20% from a single combination, from a single spread. That's why in spot plus futures arbitrage, the profitability is much higher. Now let's discuss the risks. In peer-to-peer arbitrage, the risks are taxes, card blocking, and the police. All of this can happen to you if you act unprofessionally and don't understand where you're buying or to whom you're selling. In spot plus futures arbitrage, there is a risk of the exchange being blocked, your account on the exchange being frozen, or the exchange turning out to be a scam. But guys, these risks are minimal. Recently, has any exchange actually turned out to be a scam? Personally, I haven't heard of such cases. That's why the risks in spot plus futures arbitrage are much lower than in peer-to-peer arbitrage. The next point is time. With peer-to-peer arbitrage, you really have to spend a lot of time monitoring tons of platforms, checking here, looking there, constantly spending a lot of time searching for a spread. And there's no guarantee that it will actually work or that you won't run into some shady schemes again where you could get in trouble with the tax authorities or the police. But in the case of spot plus futures arbitrage, the time required is minimal. You can use all sorts of scanners. By the way, I'll tell you about one scanner a bit later, which will send you notifications. You simply buy cheaper on one exchange, short at a higher price on another, and lock in your profit. Thanks to such scanners, you can conveniently and quickly find spreads, and you spend a minimal amount of time. And the legal risks in P2P arbitrage are very high, but in spot plus futures arbitrage, they are minimal. From this, it follows that spot plus futures arbitrage is much more profitable and advantageous. Because the returns are higher, we spend less time, there are no issues with banks and tax authorities, and scalability, we can arbitrage with tens of thousands of dollars. And as I promised you, I'll show you a scanner that allows you to look for spreads on different exchanges and also set up notifications. Let's go. I use the Arbitrage Scanner service. It has helped me out more than once and constantly provides great spreads. The link to it is of course in the description. Here we can do arbitrage not only on spot and futures, but also futures plus futures, futures and spot, inter-exchange, CXDEX arbitrage, and various other funding types. All of that is available here. Look, arbitrage products, let's go to arbitrage perpetuals, which is arbitrage on futures. Here, accordingly, you can choose the strategy we talked about today, spot plus futures. Open the advanced settings and select spot plus futures, or futures and spot, or futures plus futures. In other words, you can customize it here to suit your needs. At the bottom, we have a table with spreads. It shows the token, the spread history, the exchange to buy on, the exchange to sell on, and the profit you will earn. You can also adjust the trading volume and various funding rates here. In general, the table can be customized to your preferences. You choose what you need. Here, you can also set the exchange to buy on, the exchange to sell on, the minimum transaction volume, minimum profit, maximum profit, deal lifetime, strategy, and you can adjust the funding as well. And all of this can be customized here in as much detail as possible to fit your needs. As I mentioned, there are notifications here as well. We go here and can set up notifications for ourselves. You click ADD and then set up notifications for the token you're interested in or for the exchanges where you want to do arbitrage. So it's as simple as that to do arbitrage. For example, there was recently an arbitrage opportunity where you could make about 15% profit, just bought cheaper on spot and sold higher on futures. When the prices converged, you locked in the difference and took 15%. Next, the arbitrage screener here is our spot screener. Here we have arbitrage between exchanges. That is, you buy cheaper on one exchange and sell higher on another. It's the same thing. Everything can be customized to your needs. Exchanges, transaction amount, profits, all are shown. The deal is displayed, meaning you see the token, the exchanges where you can buy cheaper, the exchanges where you can sell higher, and the profit you will earn. And all of this is displayed here in a convenient table format. There is also an arbitrage scanner. You can set up specific tokens and specific pools to your preferences and search for arbitrage opportunities within these pairs. Next is the DEX scanner. That is, you can arbitrage between SEX and DEX, buy cheaper on a DEX, short on futures, sell higher on a SEX, and pocket the difference. You can also customize this for yourself. Select the flag for the type of arbitrage you want to look for. Everything can be tailored to your needs. You can also set up notifications. Funding ranking. Funding is when traders pay a fee on futures. If there are a lot of long traders, the funding rate is positive and longs pay shorts. If there are a lot of short traders, the funding rate is negative and shorts pay longs. Accordingly, all of this is displayed here as well, by exchanges, then the token, and what the spread is between the funding rates. And you can easily monitor all this for free, without any issues, and earn from funding arbitrage. In addition to this, there is also an AI assistant here to help you. If you don't know something, you can freely ask it questions and it will help you. On-chain analytics, sentiment analysis, and various other features, guides, and case studies. You can also check these out. They offer 6 types of subscriptions. You can purchase for 1 month, 3 months, 6 months, or a year. The more months you choose, the more cost-effective the subscription will be. We also have Starter, Business, Platinum, Enterprise, and at the bottom there are special subscriptions, Guru, and VIP. Under each subscription, it says what that subscription offers, so you can review, read more details, and choose and purchase the one that suits you. If you purchase a business subscription or higher, you automatically enter a drawing for $5,000, and one of you will win $5,000. You can find more details in the description. I'll leave a link to this giveaway. Each subscription is unique in its own way. For example, the Guru subscription gives you a personal manager who will assist you. You also get access to the website, events, and a private arbitration chat where arbitrageurs share their signals, deals, and generally communicate within this arbitrage community, and much more. So choose the subscription that suits you best. Again, if you purchase a business subscription or higher, you are automatically entered into the $5,000 giveaway. All the details are in the description. I also have a promo code that will give you 30% cashback. That means I'll return 30% of your subscription amount to you, and additionally, I'll credit another 30% to your subscription. Again, all the details are in the description. Let's sum things up. Everyone talks about P2P arbitrage, but in reality, there are very high risks involved. Again, there's the tax authorities, the police, other issues, and gray money. And finding spreads is very difficult. But in reality, futures arbitrage is much simpler because you're arbitraging within 1 or 2 exchanges. You can set up notifications for yourself and catch spreads. Go in and arbitrage as calmly as possible and earn steadily. If you're interested in the topic of arbitrage, be sure to subscribe to our channel and check out our other videos. We talk about cryptocurrency arbitrage, make comparisons, show trades, and teach cryptocurrency arbitrage. So I think you'll find it interesting. Give this video a like, leave your comments, and share it with your friends. And we'll see you in the next videos. Bye everyone.